If you're working with multiple images in one file, something really useful to pay attention to is the guides that automatically pop up. So we have this here, we have our background layer and our logo image layer. Say I want it to be up here, I want it to be centered, and I'm just going to move it manually. So you're going to click on it and you can drag it up and you can see these purple lines popping up. So different ones will pop up depending on where you are. The most useful one is this center one. So that clearly is in the center. So I'm going to let it go. So it's good. It's centered. All right, say I don't like that. I want it to be perfectly centered horizontally and vertically. I am already centered up and down. So what I'm going to do is hold the Shift key and then click and drag. And you can see as I pull down, even if I pull my mouse over here, it's staying on that line. So holding Shift makes it stay in a perfectly straight line. And then my other horizontal line comes up that shows me that it's centered horizontally too. So I'm going to let go of everything, and now I know it's perfectly in the absolute center. While I'm on the Move tool here, you can see all these things right up here. These are your Align and Distribute options. Those are super useful too. They're mostly useful if you have multiple things like this logo in here. So just for an example, all right, so now I have two Lake Appliance Repair logos. Say I want them, say they end up like this. That's how they are. All right, well, I want them to be beside each other like this. So I can use that and use those guides that way. That's super easy. Or if I don't want to do that, you can use the align buttons up here. And I'm going to click on one, hold Control, and click on the other layer so they're both selected. And then you can see these get highlighted. That means, okay, you can use these now because you've selected the correct criteria. This, you hover over it, it says Align Left Edges. That aligns the left edges so they're perfect together. If you want to align them center, it's going to do that. If you want to align them to the right, it's going to do that. Now these are both the exact same size, so you're not going to see it move around. If you wanted to align the tops, then they're going to align the tops, centers, or bottoms. Okay, so that you can kind of see what I mean better by that. Say they're like this, and we want to align them and have them both sitting on the same bottom line here. I have them both clicked. Now you can see they're both aligned with the bottom edge of the images. All right, so I've got them both selected still. Now you can move them both around at the same time. Anyway, to deselect, you just click over here. All right, so we've got both of them like this. So you can see you can use these guides. I think these lines that pop up as you're moving around are kind of the fastest. All right, say we had a third one. All right, we've got a third one in here now. As I'm moving this around, you see the 58 pixel little box pops up. That's telling you that there's the same amount of space between the first one and the second one and the second one and the third one. That's super useful too, so nothing's like, oh, well, it's a little off. You can see there. The other thing you can do if you had three, and I've got a lot more space here, say you can't get it perfect manually, you do the same thing. You can control and click each of those layers, or if you have more than two, if you have more than two, you can click the first one, hold shift, and click the last one, and it selects everything in between. All right, so we want them distributed evenly, so we're going to use our distribution tool, distribute vertically. That does that. This distributes evenly horizontally, which doesn't really make sense because they're not horizontal. If they were like this, we selected them all, we did this, it would even it out that way. So those guides are really useful.